What's up, wrestling fans, horror fans? I am sitting here with one of my very specialist guests of all the special guests, the handsome, the debonair, and the dapper, Nicolas Vince.
I woke up for that bit.
Yeah, now you got to live up to that.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I should probably tighten my button up in that case to do my tie.
You look fantastic.
Thank
You're making me look terrible. I'm here representing Rotting Corpse Productions, and as anyone who loves horror movies knows, you're a prominent figure in the horror community. You're in one of the most iconic films of all time. I'm talking about Hellraiser.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'll be honest, as a child, you gave me more nightmares than any horror character because I thought for sure if my hand or my foot was hanging off the bed, Chatter was just going to nip it off.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh, that is really cool. I got to terrify small children. Yeah.
And you got paid for it.
That's true. That's very true. I'd not heard that story before. Oh, that's really interesting.
And
okay.
Another story I had for him was that when me and my girlfriend were dating, when she was overseas in Australia, she used to draw her lips back, and do that to cheer me up as a homage to yourself.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, even though you wore the mask that had your head wrapped up, do you ever get recognized for being Chatter anywhere? Has anybody ever been like, "Are you the guy?"
Do you know, I don't. I really don't. Therefore, in the couple of times that it's happened, it freaks me out. I was doing a writing class, and I walked in, and I kind of walked to the tutor and introduced myself, and before I could say anything, he said, "You're Nicolas Vince." And I was like, no, I don't know who you are. And there's a gentleman called Nicholas Royal, who was a friend of Clive's. Now, you have to understand, people used to come onto set on Hellraiser, and I really couldn't see very much, so I literally probably couldn't see them when they came into set. So I didn't recognize him at all, and I just got completely friendly. So I think it has actually only happened once then, and that was so completely random because it was in the middle of London in a bookshop, and then the rest of the time, the other time was like first thing on the morning before a convention had started. And so he said, I think now more, of course, because of Facebook and you know people know who you are, and people are always very polite.
I can imagine. I mean, you don't want to be ripped apart by hooks and chains and whatever else you got in your pocket.
Fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction.
Fiction.
It's in your head.
Look, what you do in your own time is your business. I'm not going to judge. I'm just saying.
No, I was going to say, I was at a convention, and this lady came up to the table and she said, I have to tell you that when she showed Chatterer, she showed Hellraiser to her friend when they were at high school, and she convinced her friend that Chatterer was based on a real life creature that lived in the local woods. And this friend then told her friend, and the story went around the school. And I just have this lovely idea that I hope it's true, that there is a school somewhere in the country where generations of children are told that Chatterer lives in the local woods. And therefore you shouldn't go in the local woods because Chatterer will get them otherwise.
Right.
Or,
Imagine going on a camping trip and off in the distance you hear that. You're like,
yeah.
So,
you would run.
A fun story though. A long time ago, a girl told me that I resembled you, and I said, "In which possible discernible way?" And she said, "Well, have you seen Kinski before?" And I said, "No." She said, "Well, you guys have the same forehead." And I said, "Oh, thanks. I know I've got a big forehead, but jeepers creepers.
I don't see that personally.
I don't either. I don't know where it came from.
That's interesting.
And what was weird was she resembled you because she chatted a lot. She was quiet. That was brutal.
That was very brutal.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay.
So, you're also, in addition to being a very good actor in iconic films, you're also a very good author. I've read 2 of his books, and you are also a filmmaker.
Yes.
I mean,
recently.
A man of many hats.
A man of many hats. So basically what I did was, when we did Nightbreed, I kind of thought, actually, I've done acting, I've done 3 movies, really enjoyed them, I kind of would like to write. So I ended up by writing for Marvel Comics. Did that for about 3 years, ended up horrendously in debt, realized I had to get work, I needed to pay off thousands in debt. So ended up by getting a normal job, ended up in computers, then got made redundant in 2012, which kind of time, great thing to happen. It's like, okay, because I was really wanting to get back into doing acting and writing and so on. So that's kind of what I've been doing since, and thank you very much. Yeah, What Monsters Do, and the second collection of short stories, Other People's Darkness. I've gotten a lot of good feedback on those. And then I ended up I met all these filmmakers through doing my YouTube show, and I just thought, I want to have a go at this. So my first short film, The Night Whispered, that's available on my website. I shall plug that mercilessly. We'll put a clip down. We'll put a link down the bottom.
Yeah.
$2.99. You can get the film, which is 8 minutes long. The making of documentary, which is about 20 minutes long, called Bloody Hell It's Cold, which is very appropriate.
It's appropriate for where we're at right now.
Yeah, it's really cold. And because it dropped to 0 degree freezing the night that we filmed. My dog's in the movie. You have to watch it for my dog, who's gorgeous and steals the film naturally.
Does it make Air Bud look bad?
Well, I put my dog and my niece in it. I thought, you never work with dogs and animals. With children and animals. Let's get that out of the way. That was fun to do. I've done
awesome.
a couple of other short films, 3 short film sets. And I'm working on some other, but I'm doing quite a lot of acting recently as well.
So you've done comics, you've done films,
Yep.
you've written books, you've started films.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do music next, right?
I have done musicals.
Oh my God.
I used to sing. I starred in a musical version of Gulliver's Travels. This is back in the 1990s. Stage version. I used to sing quite a bit.
Do you have a great voice? Honestly?
I honestly, it's so long since I've done it properly. I wouldn't like to say. I'm very conscious of the fact I don't have the range that I used to have because, age. But I enjoy singing. Not as good. Barbie Wilde has got a good voice. My fellow cenobite, Barbie Wilde, she's got a really beautiful singing voice. You don't hear enough of. So I've done that. Yeah.
Man, so now I guess the next journey is, what haven't you done yet? That you maybe do a cartoon, maybe.
No, I definitely haven't done that.
Yet?
No, definitely haven't. But I've written for comics, worked with artists. I mean, what I really want to do now is write and direct films, feature films. I've done short films, so that's kind of the next thing. That's the next ambition. But in the meantime, I like to do quite a lot more acting. I'm really enjoying the acting.
And we're enjoying watching it.
Thank you very much.
Sincerely.
Thank you.
Everything I've seen that you've done thus far, and this isn't even me just being like, hey, we're buds. Genuinely, you're very good at what you do.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
if I didn't enjoy the books, I would say, I read them, they exist. But they were genuinely very good books.
Thank you.
You as a person, you come through in all of your art, and it's a pleasure to get down to sit down and speak to you.
Thank you.
And just to know you as who you are, as Nicholas, rather than the monster that almost ate my fingers as a child.
I can do it now if you do. No, sorry.
Listen, I'm not going to finger you in public. Okay, that's just awkward. I can give you my number. That's up to you.
I've written for the stage as well because I've just remembered I did actually dramatise 2 of the short stories from the first volume for the London Horror Festival. I should give out a shout out to the London Horror Festival because I'm the patron. That starts in October. We've got 33 shows, 1-hour fringe shows. I'm really honoured to be involved in that. I love doing that, promoting that. So that's the other thing that I do at the moment.
And one thing you're really good at is you get the word out about everything that you do and saying that this is something not only that I'm part of, but I'm proud of.
Oh,
like,
thank you.
Even currently on your Facebook, the Scarefest banner's at the top of your page.
Yeah.
And I love that about you, is that not only do you put yourself into your work, but you make sure the world knows about it.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the reasons why I started doing my YouTube show, Chattering with Nicolas Vince, was because I thought, this is something that I can talk to young independent filmmakers, and I've met a lot of them and have worked with them since. At least 4 or 5 who've been on the show. Because there's an awful lot of young, talented filmmakers, writers, artists,
Wrestling managers.
I'm very, very grateful to Clive for giving me that opportunity. it was really good of him, and he had to fight hard to get us actors in makeup. Particularly Chatterer, who has no lines, could have been done by an extra. I kind of feel it's beholden on us to really publicise. All our other cinemas, lots of films we should be shouting out about as well. So it's part of the fun of working in this community, this wonderful horror community.
It really is, and we're all thankful to have you, man.
Thank you very
And
much.
I genuinely mean that. And it's awesome for me, as someone who grew up just loving horror movies and just watching these characters come to life, to speak to people like yourself who, like you said, you don't have to have a personality, but you jump into what you do, and instead of being this like masked, hooded, I don't have to be this specific thing, I know you've come up with sort of a backstory in your head of how you want this character to be portrayed going forward, and why this tortured soul is now dishing that out himself.
Yeah, well, in fact, it's being published already. It was published as part of the Hellraiser anthology the end of last year, with illustrations by Clive Barker. Volume 2 of the Hellraiser anthology, if you can get hold of it, there is my version. It's the second time writing one, actually, come to think of it, of how a boy ended up in hell, which was a fascinating thing.
Well, anyone who needs to know the backstory on the Chatterer, you can ask Nicolas yourself, or you can read the book. Probably read the book.
Yeah, short story. Yeah, short story.
Not too short, though, right?
No,
Okay, good.
thoroughly disturbing.
Thoroughly disturbing. Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what we like, though, right?
Oh yeah,
Especially when the lights are off.
Yeah.
Got a couple candles lit.
yeah,
Are we talking about horror movies?
yeah.
Okay.
Or bath time.
Just
really.
making sure. Bath- Next thing we do like this, we have to do it in the bathtub.
Okay.
I've-
Hey,
I've-
never
I've-
say never.
I've managed to
You're a very
disturb-
attractive man. Yeah, never say never.
Well, you're too kind. That money's in the mail, by the way. So my name is Jason Saint. This has been Saints Row with one of my absolute favorite actors, one of my favorite characters, the beautiful, wonderfully talented Nicolas Vince. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Pete.
See y'all later.
Cheers, folks. Bye.